August 18th, 1973. News of a bizarre chainsaw-wielding family, reports which were to ignite the world's imagination, began to filter out of Central Texas. Regrettably, not one of the family members was ever apprehended, and for more than 10 years, nothing further was heard. Then, over the next several years, at least 2 minor, yet apparently related incidents were reported. Then again, nothing. For 5 long years, silence.
You're a bona fide moron.
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Oh, hello there, and welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind, episode 671. Welcome to Sacktober, everyone. My name is Scott Johnson, joined today by Brian Shut Up Barry Dunaway.
I'm shutting up already, and I'm stuck in a cooler of some sort, calling from the murder house. Oh, hi. This week on Film Sack, we ain't all right. When we return of the Texas, some lipstick right onto this Leatherface chainsaw-wielding dancer in the streets, massacre in the sheets. Uh-oh, he saw us. Run with your electromotorized remote-controlled leg gear as fast as you can to the peacock, where we are streaming for our lives to survive this 1995 Part 4 horror sequel that perfectly encapsulates Brian Ibbott's prom date of the same year. What were you, like 28? This explains so much. Anywho, welcome to the backwoods of Texas small-town medical supply and chainsaw emporium located conveniently across from the real estate for murder families looking for victims. And I can't help but notice you're eyeballing our remote-controlled leg bender 3000. That's a popular one. Now, will this be going on your Illuminati card, or are you paying in skin? Randy? Does this lipstick make me look like a leather-faced whore?
Oh, man. You know what? You haven't lost a step. You got a storm bearing down on you, trees laying everywhere, no power, no electricity, and look at you. Killing it.
Yeah, back up, Mike. I sound like crap. It's going to rock.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
do it.
good. I like it. There's a human quality to it, all right? Hey, also with us, Randy, most horror movies have one pee scene, but this one has 2, Jordan.
Aloha, Scott. Brian, thank you for coming to this meeting of the most ill-defined, wishy-washy cult family of kidnappers and killers since the invention of the telephone. Yes, we have a bunch of shared beliefs, but we have one main motto. If we don't share our goals and purposes, we can't be blamed when we don't reach our goals and purposes. So it's whatever. We'll put some vague Illuminati imagery on the wall somewhere, then pile up some cardboard boxes and newspapers until it can't even really be seen. How do we live in this pigsty? And why does Ibbott keep changing into ever more feminine clothes, but the rest of us only ever wear whatever we were wearing when you first saw us? That's surprising, isn't it? Anyway, there are some teenagers who need killing for the crime of merely talking about sex in the car. So we need the 3 of us who are men to go get them. And you're going to succeed as long as you follow my 3 rules. Number 1, there's apparently only one double-wide trailer office within 100 miles of this place. So you don't have to chase the kids into it. They'll go there on their own, like that one office is a bug zapper or something. Number 2, put your victim in the trunk of your car and then just drive around town with her completely awake and screaming. If anyone asks you what's in your trunk, you just say, "You don't even want to know, officer." And that will always get you out of trouble. Number 3, and this is important. This is the most important rule of this entire scheme. Please, if you have tits, flash your tits. Thank you.
Well, girls have them, according to this movie.
Yeah. It's a great way to scare off those darn teenage boys.
Yeah, freaking Barry. No offense to our favorite Barry out there listening. All right. Well done, as always. Let's now swing it on over to Brian. He always goes a little too hard with the cattle prod, Ibbot.
I do. Ow. All right. Well, I hope you're ready for one separate incident of a music parody. I don't know. I didn't write anything for the pre-thing on this one. I'm just going to go right into it. Hey, all right. It's our first. It's I don't know if my first repeat of an artist. I've done another one of this musician's songs before, but didn't do this one. Here's this one.
The Harley Quinn of today's event. I don't know what that means.
I love. Where'd you get the chainsaw? Did you get the chainsaw from the movie itself, or is that?
I didn't. I looked on YouTube for someone revving a chainsaw, the sound of someone revving a chainsaw, because I wanted something to replace the ma 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 ma, and I was thinking I could do the sound of Leatherface going.
Oh, that would be cool. I would have died.
It would have been great for the first couple times, and then you would have gotten as sick of that as you probably got of the chainsaw sound.
Wow, that would have been something. Also, that reminded me of, what's that movie, Barbarian, where the naked big giant mom keeps going, or whatever. Yeah. Kind of had that vibe. We are talking about a movie that can't decide what it's called. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, or Return to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Return is it Return of
Return
the
of.
Yes. So like a horror film from the 50s.
Which is worse, right? Return to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre makes more sense because there was a massacre, we're returning to it. But a massacre can't really return, like a character like the massacre at the end of the first movie says, "I'll be back." Yep,
fully agree. By the way, that is exactly how this should be. Yeah,
it definitely was some consideration because Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger were both in this film, and originally they were their faces were on the cover art, I believe, and I think they changed that at some point, probably due to agreements of popularity. Right, stop it.
I think they actually did tell Sony that they won't do any movies, or maybe their agents or something says, we won't do any movies for Sony if you re-release this with our faces on the cover of the box.
Probably. Really? Wow. Well, according to trivia, there's a thing in here that says, when asked about this movie, Renee Zellweger said, and it doesn't cite what the interview is, so maybe this is some scrutiny. But it says it was dangerous. I don't know if any of it was legal. It was a great workout. Says running from a guy with a live chainsaw is excellent motivation. It was a lot of fun. It was my first role, really. I couldn't believe that somebody was going to trust me with that. So that somebody was going to take a chance on me. I was very grateful. I have no shame about that movie. So she didn't seem to be too worked up about it.
No, and McConaughey either. I think it's probably their agents or something higher up. Probably.
But the fact that they had a live chainsaw, I can understand where you take the blade out, and you've seen them do this in other movies, right? Where they take the actual teeth out.
Yeah, I've seen this at my local horror walking fest thing, where it's like, let's go through the little haunted house.
If you go to Not Scary Farm, there's a bunch of people walking around with chainsaws that are actual chainsaws that just don't have the chain, and it's still freaky as hell.
To say still doesn't lower the level of anxiety I get, doesn't change it at all.
I like that. STIHL still doesn't level.
That's right. STIHL. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was one chainsaw brand I couldn't come up with a way to use in the song because you can't. It still just sounds like still.
No, but your use of DeWalt was appreciated because that's the brand we have.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It is the best brand of chainsaw.
Well, let's let Fake Fletcher explain what this movie is so that there's a little confusion. Now, I'm just going to say this about this current AI Mario bot thing. He seems to be chilling out. Last week went a little feminine. This week, just chilling. So anyway, here it is.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Next Generation. A group of teenagers get into a car crash in the Texas woods on prom night and then wander into an old farmhouse that is home to Leatherface, Robert Jacks, and his insane family of cannibalistic psychopaths. This is bad.
Yeah.
Psychopaths. I'm going to start calling them psychopaths.
Yeah.
Psychopaths.
So my very first thought in this movie is, when was the last time we sacked a movie that had 2 stars that have multiple Academy Awards?
Right.
And I was just like, I started looking backwards and I'm like, I'm going to probably look through years of film sack. No, Road to Perdition right there.
Oh,
just back in April.
Yeah, that's a good one. But have we seen anything this bad with 2 Academy Award winner films?
Yeah. Road to Perdition's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the line of demarcation right there.
Yeah, this is
Something
what-
at this level.
McConaughey's second film, I think.
This was right after his All Right, All Right. There's some interviews I watched with him, and so Dazed and Confused, and then he was heading to Hollywood, and on his way to Hollywood, because he was out of Texas.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be auditioning for a small role as a bookend, as a love interest for Renee Zellweger.
Someone that
and-
saves him or something, right? Wasn't that the deal?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Or
he's
saves
supposed to be
her.
like a bookend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so instead, he ends up coming back and going, you know what I was thinking?
You know what I was
Be all right.
It'll be all right.
I think, you know what? I actually think he is really horrifyingly good in this. He goes all in, as the way I should probably put it.
Yeah.
He is the scary, like the Leatherface. Okay, dude who just Roger's the or not Roger, who's the book of quotations. I can't think of who the author is.
Oh,
usually
that
associated
guy.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's great.
not so scary. Realtor from hell, not so scary. But
Yeah.
McConaughey and the faces he makes when he's like stepping on Heather's head.
Yeah.
Off screen.
Oh, wow. When he's crushing her head, it is
Yes.
it's looking at his face is so effective. Now,
Yeah,
Kim Hinkle, that's the co-writer of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is his first directorial. I think it's his only thing he did directing too.
You know why?
But
'Cause
he
it's
was
terrible. But anyway,
yeah, because
go ahead.
it was so it was interesting. I had a good time.
Oh no, I had a great time. It's a stupid fun time, but there's no way that this counts as like
to
ooh,
him,
he should direct.
I can't wait to hear Dunaway defend this thing.
Okay, well, I'm joining him.
You come on over here, Randy. Let's
this
buddy up.
defense.
Really? Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Because at the very least, this movie has so much potential. It sets out to be a satire of the franchise that has come before it. And the whole time I kept going, oh, you know what? This is about to get good. It never did. But the entire time I had that uplifting feeling.
This is quite a defense,
like
by the
that.
way.
Yeah.
It's an amazing
I like
defense of the product.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a brilliant defense. I'm with Randy.
I mean,
I'm
look,
sticking with it.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I don't think you're wrong, and there's also moments where the magic happens, and it's usually when it's frenetic and someone's getting chased, and it's like scary.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. Him and Toby Hooper, the original director, are really good at those moments of like, this is really bad. It's so chaotic. This house is disgusting. Everyone's losing their minds. When those moments are happening, it's really uncomfortable. It makes one to get the F out. And that's something.
But it feels the good thing about it is that it does feel very claustrophobic, but unfortunately that makes it feel like you're watching a play where they've only got two sets and the people running away can only go between those two sets and get chased by them.
Which is good, right? I mean, that's
By the
what you
family.
want this film to feel is artificially isolated because it's dark
Yes.
and everybody around you is in on it, and you just can't escape it. So you do feel very trapped. Now, also one more
Very
thing before we
much.
get too far along. I watched the director's cut, so I watched I watched the way Kim Hinkle envisioned it.
Do you know what
right.
the differences are on the
Yes,
director's cut?
it's pretty close up. There's not that much. There's like 7 minutes of footage, but it does set up some really interesting character elements that Renee Zellweger's character experiences. The opening scene where you guys probably watched in the Peacock, it was just her putting on lipstick, getting ready for the prom, and then she wipes the lipstick off because you hear her parents coming. So you get that her parents are a little bit conservative. But in the director's cut, you actually see that her stepdad is a total perv and is kind of like almost a little bit of a mirror of Vilmer's Matthew McConaughey character.
geez.
And you kind of
Okay.
understand why Jenny the character kind of is able to deal with some of this because she's already dealing with insanity in her own family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And is being reflected
Yeah,
in this.
the trivia says she was
Interesting.
like super abusive and terrible in every way, and so this was all
Yeah.
like she had somehow escaped that only to find herself trapped again. I mean, that's actually kind of an interesting arc, but I guess it was probably too much much content.
They're like, we don't need this. Cut
Well,
it.
and like I say, it's like the movie is discovering itself along the way, and that's not a good thing necessarily. But like the you know what I'm saying? Like the first main sequence, right, is about a bunch of teenagers leaving the prom, and admittedly, they all seem very old except Renee Zellweger for some reason.
Yeah, she played young.
Very young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She was 25 here, by the way, but go ahead.
And you're like, wow, if they had just gone back and thought about this for a minute, like, let's just rewrite this scene, right? And give us an idea of who the characters are more than just this guy is making out with this girl and he's in trouble now and so on. Like, just a little bit more. And we've got really good satire going on because, like, how tropey is a high school prom departure? You know, we've seen it a billion times in horror movies. So you're right on the cusp of making this memorable because it's self-aware, almost.
Yeah, just about there. And I think the biggest problem it suffers from, the mayhem is fine. It's just all the lead up and the talking. It's just the bad acting.
It does feel like some really some intense action scenes that just are padded with so much running, screaming, and chasing. And you need that. Obviously, you need the running, screaming, and chasing in a horror movie. But this film, I would say the middle or the second half of it is probably about 80% running, screaming, and chasing. It should be about 40 or 50%.
Well, and
give us some hiding and freaking out and the build up the suspense. Like walk into a room, 5 seconds. Oh, here comes Leatherface, or here comes.
I love this. I love this algebraic formula you're creating that that defines it. Yeah, I think you should write
everything in my life, Brian. When somebody asks me how I'm doing, I'm like 85%, 90%. Everything in my life is a mathematical.
Yeah, your percentage of how well you are after an illness, for example, is emblematic.
Exactly.
Of that.
I have a question for Scott Nibbett, and that is, when in this movie did you start asking yourself or asking out loud, hey, why is Leatherface so bad at catching people?
why is Leatherface so bad at massacring people with a chainsaw?
Yeah, right. Yeah. The thing he's here to do. The other thing about that too is that he's just kind of lame in this. This is a lame Leatherface.
Well, he's not this lame here. This is typical of the whole series. Leatherface is the most. He's the screaming intimidation, but the real scary is Grandpa, right?
The
he's just sitting there, Grandpa sitting there looking dead, and you're like, oh, who's that dead guy?
For a long time,
right?
Yeah, right.
And so it's like, so that's kind of intentional. That's been throughout the whole series.
And that's a real Grandpa from earlier films, right? I think so.
I meant to go back and look it up, but then I lost time.
I have it right here. I think none of the. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. Okay, here we go. The hospital scene at the end featured. Oh no, that's two acts. That's at the end. That's, maybe not.
Yeah. And I had to look that up because I was like, oh, I'm guessing that person on the gurney is important, but I have no idea.
Yeah, they linger on it in the film. And I didn't recognize her, of course, because it's been decades since I've watched the first one.
Yeah.
But that's the survivor from the first, which we covered here on Film Sack.
We covered it on Film Sack, but that was like so many years ago, and she's not as recognizable. At least to me, as like a Jamie Lee Curtis or...
and she's upside down, and she's looking upside down. It's like...
And it's 30 years, or 20 years difference, or 15 or something.
Yeah.
Was she in any of the other... Because there were some... there was kind of a comedy sequel, right? Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was...
Two is kind of was kind of more of the big spoof. For Toby Hooper, he kind of, I think he more wanted that. I can't remember though.
I mean,
was she in that one, or was she in any of the other ones, or just this one in the first one?
I only remember from this one and the first one. Okay. I could be wrong. Somebody's gonna come back and go, oh yeah, she was big in 3. I don't remember.
So it feels like something that Monica would know for sure.
Monica, I have so many questions that I wish they had answered on this movie. Like, I just wrote down, if I was to hang the world's heaviest, sharpest hook 2 meters up, could you hang yourself on it? Right. And then, secondly, could you get off of it? I don't know. I don't
know, but that looked seriously painful. That's always
it looked like. Because I was wondering the same thing. I'll bet. This is just the way that I'm guessing they explained it is that she didn't pull herself off of it. It just went through her. Like it basically.
Okay.
Came out the top of her shoulders.
Oh, she dropped I don't know if that could happen.
That's horrifying.
Was that Heather? So that's Heather, right?
Yeah, that's Heather. Yeah. She sucks, by the way. She's the worst actor in this thing. She's terrible.
I think it's a 7-way tie.
I think she's
so bad. She's so bad.
With the exception of Zellweger, with the exception of the right people, McConaughey and Zellweger, it is.
So you're saying the people who escaped this horror movie are the right people?
I mean,
we did escape this horror movie. I think the worst actress in this thing, or worst actor in this thing, is the is the Darla, is that her name? The real estate agent or whatever
that's
she is.
Tony Periskin. You didn't like Tony Periskin? I kind of liked her.
I mean, she's fine.
No.
She puts her role in fine. I mean, she's doing her job, but I think that character is terrible.
Darla.
Terrible character, though.
Well, I mean, I thought it was actually interesting because I remember just seeing a little bit of this a long time ago, and I totally did not remember her being kind of almost a sympathetic or empathetic kind of character that was also just, she was a survivor, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, she's played into their insanity to survive because she's found out that there's no escape because this involves the Illuminati, right? It's like, even if she didn't want to be in this situation, there's no place she can run. And so,
yeah, sure.
That whole Illuminati thing.
Yeah, I'm rolling my eyes.
I can't wait till we get to talk about this because when the suit guy first showed up, the suit guy with his chauffeur, I'm thinking, oh, well, they mentioned that they were under constant FBI surveillance in that the opening narration. Is the FBI basically like there's a perv on the FBI and he's the one who's kind of coming in and saying, oh, you've got a lady, good, I'm gonna lick her face for 3 uncomfortable minutes.
It's so weird, and I kind of there's always a greater evil, right? That's kind of how this movie goes.
But if it would have been so much, I don't know, I think it would have been better to have it be an FBI guy's like, oh crap, and then she's getting in the car with him, than being the Illuminati that is basically hiring them to torture people.
That's weird. That adds a whole wrinkle to it. So now you gotta, is that canon now, or like all the Leatherface sequels?
It was already canon because in the first one they kind of hinted with this through a lot of the series. I think this is probably less Toby and more Kim Hinkle, but I think he likes that greater evil kind of thing that just kind of keeps playing. And part of their power with the Illuminati is their ability to control us with placing strategically placing horrors.
That stuff can be powerful. Obviously it's fun. It's a fun thing to play with, but I think it defangs the horror elements of a series like this.
It does.
Yes,
it does.
And what's the point? Like, to what end? Oh, we're going to hire this family to torture and freak people out.
Yeah.
For
what? Yeah.
Fill in the blank.
For what exactly? I mean, I assume that the whole deal is like, that guy, by the way, looked like a T-mood Judd Nelson to me when he first showed up. I don't know what's going on there.
He totally did, yeah.
I mean, secret societies are very scary, right?
Yes.
Sure.
But if you're going to portray, like, the reason they're so scary is because we don't understand what is going on in a secret society, right? So we just imagine the worst.
Yeah.
But if you're going to portray a secret society, you have to show us the worst. And this was like a bunch of actors who seem to all have their own ideas of why they're doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess I just question that decision because it really did take the wind out of like McConaughey's craziness and even Leatherface's craziness a little bit. And also it just left me with this feeling of like, all right, she got dropped off at the hospital by him. She's not going to say anything about that. Is she just going to, I mean,
this feels like this is a unique movie in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in series, in my opinion, because this is very much, after watching it again and going back and thinking about it, the director, co-writer Kim Hinkle, I think this is his single vision. And I think the fact that if you look back when he was born and what he finds scary as opposed to what maybe we find scary, I think it makes sense. I'm not saying it's good, but I think I understand this movie a lot better than I did in years past when I looked at it.
Do you feel like of the series though, like of the entirety of the thing, where would you place this? Like
we're not even dealing with a Lady of the Lake golden chainsaw in this particular version.
That's right. I remember you telling us about that there's a
so this is not even, this is trash compared to that.
So there's 9 movies in the TCMCU and
TCMCU.
That's right.
That's great.
Preach it, Randy. Preach it, Randy.
The next 2, somehow Michael Bay gets involved in this thing. In the next 2, in 5 and 6, Michael Bay has like movie rights to produce TCMCU movies, and he's like so like the next one is way more slick and way more of your like movie theater movie, and so is the following one after that.
Yeah.
They basically they originally get rid of Kim Henkel after this movie, and then they bring Kim Henkel back for whatever reason.
Well,
And
he's like
Kim
he's the
involved.
father of it, I guess. He's probably got some kind of rights or something. Who knows how that works, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I love the idea that Hinkle and Hooper, it's their baby, so they get to do stuff with it. It must have been a really great thing to know that the studio trusted him to direct it. I just don't. This
reminds me of kind of how like Star Trek the movies from the original series, when they started making them, it's like, hey, who wants to direct one? Shatter, you want to do one? Hey, how about you over there, Spock?
Yeah.
You want to do one?
You want to do one? They call him Spock in real life. They didn't call him Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
Everybody is they're seated around the table and just say, okay, who wants to direct a future movie? Raise your hand.
What do you want to do yours about? Whales? Bring it on. Space whales? Perfect. Let's get it. Let's get it made.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, at some point, I just think this is 95, right? There's so many other movies in 95 that feel like they were modern films if you watch them now. This thing feels like it's 20 years old.
Which makes it even better, in my opinion, because something about old seems so much creepier. I watched this on VHS, of course I did.
Yeah, of course.
But that I've talked about it before. Is it something about old just makes it even creepier? It's like,
also low budget like this, you have to let the landscape do a lot of the work, because you don't have a lot of budget for lights, and so
or you only have lights in the woods,
right? Yeah, that's right, that. But it's just it's like it's a very particular thing. This low budget look and feel. The sound work was as good as it needed to be, but it wasn't great, and like all of that put together feels very familiar, and that's a good thing for a scary movie. You want that. You want the audience to feel like they understand the language of someone running through trees in darkness, and there's someone behind them, but you don't even need to show the person behind them.
Sure.
It's because like we all feeling like that. The problem with this movie is that it counts on all of that, and it doesn't have the script to support it. I'm like, this whole movie, I'm just like, would you just let Matthew McConaughey talk? Like, not grit his teeth and talk. No. Let him talk. He is brilliant. And like, there's not enough of him. There's like, he's not allowed to get as scary as he can actually be. Like, the energy he brings to his attack scenes.
There's a couple of scenes, but you're right. Like when he's wiping blood on himself with a fake knife, it's just not enough for me to like. I like the idea that he's self-destructive, that he's just like the worst possible combination of sadistic and self-loathing and all that. And you're right. There's just a point where they don't let it quite breathe enough.
Do you think Vilmer made that leg brace? You think he made that?
I don't know.
Oh, I got so many questions about that stupid ass thing.
Totally did. Like he's like salvaging parts of cars that he picks up, and and then like, oh, here's a hose from a CPAP, and here's.
They don't show it, but I'm assuming he's
CPAP.
using that remote control in his pocket to make it walk or something all the time, because he controls it other times.
It's I don't know if I don't think he's using it to walk, but I do think he might use it to
enhancements.
I definitely think he's using it to walk. I think he's
walking around all the time and not having to do that.
Yeah, his hands are out of his.
I don't see his pocket hand.
Well,
I don't know.
No, they are. His hands are out all the time, and he's walking. I think Ibbott's right, but also,
are you saying he's controlling it with his penis?
But here, no, I'm saying this is what I'm
controlling with his penis.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that you do a movie like Fury Road, and you buy the Furiosa arm because the world says so. It's not a hard buy. You're just like, this is what they do out here. They're desperate, and somehow that works.
But if somebody took her arm off of her and put it on themselves, you would start to ask more questions.
You would ask more questions, exactly. And so when I saw this and you start hearing him go bzzt, 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 as he's walking around, I'm like, there's like RoboCop shit in this movie. This is bad.
Yeah. Yes, and that's actually This is like the movie is trying to portray him as having a super bionic knee. And they just like, with the exception of this one instant when Renee Zellweger uses his remote control against him, like it's just not, they don't like what it, if he's so strong in that leg because of the bionics, then show me. Give me something.
Right.
Have him kick a door down or
Oh,
something.
but he did eventually when he
exactly,
squashed what's her face's head. When he squashed Heather's
Well,
head. That was
Yeah, you know what? They never. That's the other thing in the trivia that kind of caught me off guard because they never actually show any deaths. The closest you get is a kid's neck on the road.
Can't afford it.
Where he just turns his head, but all that stuff was off camera, so all deaths happened off video.
I'm sorry I keep going back to this, but if you put a big, huge hook in my spine, that is a death. I die instantly. I do not.
I thought it was more to the side. Yeah, I thought it was more to like under her shoulder blade.
My spine is my whole back. Just so
Yeah, no.
I love it.
As it should be, right? Like, you know, the minute he did that, I went, oh, it's one of these. This is where you store the meat. This is one of those deals.
And y'all
she
say
was
that Heather,
way too mobile later on.
Y'all said that Heather couldn't act, but I'm telling you, the whole time that she was fighting to get out of that cooler and Leatherface, Robert Jacks trying to keep her shoved in there, and they were the screaming match. That was a piece of brilliant.
No, it wasn't.
Piece of acting. It was
bad. It wasn't. Anybody can scream and fight like that.
Oh no! I bet you can't.
I bet you can. I bet you can. You can be in the arms of a screaming guy with a leather face and then scream.
You know
back
what
at
happens
him.
when I try to scream? I go into a coughing fit. It's going to be my worst. It's going to be the worst end for me.
Well, yeah, but most people aren't going to cough. They're just going to scream. Like I could scream like that. I do it in the scary video games. If needed, I could have been her. My point is that your acting is where it really counts. Is me caring about the character because you set her up well, or she's got good backstory or good exposition. She had none of that. She's just like.
And they almost did though. Like that's the whole everything in the movie. I'm like, this character, I want to be interested in this character because she catches her boyfriend making out with another woman at prom.
Yeah.
And then she gets in a car in a fit of rage and starts rage driving. And I'm like, oh, I want to like this character so much.
Yeah, because it's easy to hate the other dude. Freaking Barry sucked. That guy sucked.
But then he gets in the car. And she just melts into nothing. She's a nothingness now.
Well,
I thought it was
chick in the bucket.
Seriously
too.
though, I mean, I thought she did fine. She's having to portray a dumb teenager. I mean, so stupid that she would believe anything. Like she would still be dating a guy who was just kissing somebody. And it's just absolute vapid, stupid high school girl, right? That'd be hard to play accurately unless you're
Oh, I've seen it done. I've seen it done a lot better than this. There's a reason her IMDb is like as short as my thumbnail. Like she's not done very little.
And what is her go-to image on the website?
It's from this movie, of course, because that's all she's got. That's my point. That's exactly my point. This is where she peaked. And look, I don't know her personally. I'm sure she's a very fine person. I have no idea. I just don't think she was cut out for this. And go do something else.
Oh, she was hooked on it instantly.
Yeah, that's true. She got hooked. Is what she did.
So you didn't like her role in Sin City then? Okay, fine.
I don't remember her in Sin City. What'd she do?
Yeah, I saw that she was in Sin City, and I don't remember what that character was.
I don't either.
Yeah. I'm sure it was something small then.
Oh, and she was in Scanner Darkly? Okay.
I think she's just in stuff that happens to be filmed in Texas at the moment. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah. Right. There was a brief time when she could get work. In Texas. But you know who was cut out for this is Robert Jacks as Leatherface. This guy
underused though, but
perfect.
He's good at it. I just think he didn't look as big as I was used to. I'm used to a much larger, beefier. I don't know. I don't know. More imposing kind of character. He was so
not Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder was Jason, right?
Right. But the first guy, whoever that was, just a bigger, beefier, vibe. The newer ones do a pretty good job of that. And I'm a fan of like the 03 who was it? Bieber's wife. What's her name?
Oh, Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. Jeez Louises.
Yeah. Timberlake's wife.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I say Bieber. Shit. Getting all my Justins mixed up. But she was really good in that 2003 one, and that one had Lee Ermey, and he was kind of your like. There's always a character who's like the lady, the woman who's with Wilmer, where they seem like they're going to help you. They're the person you run to. They look like they're working in an office and they're normal and all that stuff. And that's how Ermey was as the sheriff. in the first one, then turned out to be as big a psycho as any of them. I love that trope, and I love that they mess with it here. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't go places I wanted, I guess.
You're
I don't
never
know.
getting out of this town.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I almost thought I might have I almost thought it was going to be a tense moment when she was picking up the drive-through pizza. I don't know where they live. Anyway, there's a drive-through pizza place, and she's picking up the pizza, and there's cops behind her, and she doesn't seem too terribly concerned that they're walking up to the car when she's got people in her trunk.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I
yeah.
like
Yeah.
her. She's the most interesting character in the movie to me
Mhm.
because of the way she treats everything going on around her, and she's got some kind of power because these three men that are all killers that she's in league with, they don't kill her,
Mhm.
right?
Right. She has
but
to.
he'll step on her neck for a really long
Yeah.
period of time.
Well,
Yeah, that's true.
I think there's some kind of portrayal of the missing mom that's going on here, and I think sometimes you can fill that role, and if you find that you can tell these boys who are just immature, even though they're super violent, you can actually get in their head and kind of talk them down, and she's kind of taken that role
Yeah.
to save herself.
Yeah,
to save herself.
I think so too. But she's also portrayed as like maniacal, like the rest of them. I don't know.
Oh,
man.
she's a survivor. So if it becomes between you and her, you're dead.
Yeah. I don't know. She had the potential for something more there, and it somehow just petered out for me. I think it was the moment that Timu Jen Nelson showed up. Everybody got impotent. It was like,
Right, exactly. Like even McConaughey's like mumbling under his breath when this guy's talking to him. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
what? The secret society boss, FBI guy. I mean,
yeah. It just, you know what it would. I don't know what to compare it to. I really honestly don't know what to compare it to. I've had movies like this I've seen before, I'm sure, where they robbed me of the. I don't know of the
Like you said,
point of
early
it.
on, you said it defanged it. It defanged the danger
the
of
power,
the actual
the
family.
danger of the family. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, very good.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And that's fine. It's, they called it Next Generation. I mean, give me a break. Like, what does that even mean? Were they trying to make a new...
Now, the original title was The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I believe, and then they renamed it to The Next Generation. There's got to be all kinds of...
It's currently listed
legal
as Next
reasons.
Generation, so I don't know which one stuck or why it stuck or what the hell happened there.
Right.
But
I'm sure they had to retitle it for some reason.
yeah. Where did you guys... where did we all... I guess we all saw it on Peacock?
Except for me. I saw the...
Mr. Director's cut.
Oh, that's
I mean,
right.
I mean, the guy on eBay said, it was like $10 for the VHS, and in the title it said mold, and so I waited a couple of days, and he was all like, how about $7? I was like, yeah, some of your mold.
Mold? Oh, it has mold in it? Hold on a minute.
Yeah, if you ever had, is this paper? It's paper. You ever seen paper?
I have seen paper.
This musty, crusty thing in a
exactly
padded envelope.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to make of that. Did it really have mold in it?
How horrific is it to watch that? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no kidding.
This you go, this may actually kill me. Okay, let's watch it.
So hold on. Mold does what to a tape, though? I don't understand. Like,
it doesn't do anything to the tape. It's the cover box, which is made out of paper.
Oh,
And
okay.
And you get it right on the edge where the tape comes out, right?
it's
It just
not like-
starts getting.
it's not like black mold, but if you're on, it just smells like old. You've been to an old library or anything.
Sure.
It's got all the dusty, and they just had to put that one on the eBay listing because otherwise people would get it and go, it smelled like mold, and then people bitch, and so you just have to put it on there.
Of course, yeah, 1 star.
I think they it matches though, because that house is probably the moldiest house in the history of houses.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Well,
place.
Leatherface
This
tried
crappy
to air
movie
it out.
was not kept in a moisture-free environment.
Yeah, it's gross in
come
there.
on.
I really hate it. I hate the feeling of that house just so much. I mean, that's the point.
Yeah.
I love these houses in these movies. I love how all over the world there are these houses that were built by people almost by hand. Like people built a house in the 1930s or something, and then it's just been sitting there, and now it just has a look that's. I just want to investigate it, and like this movie didn't give me it gave me some. We got up on the roof, it was all right.
Yeah.
But I just want to go all over this house over and over because it's.
Yeah, I want to. Well, basically, I mean, Resident Evil 7 took a lot of inspiration from this series. There's no Leatherface necessarily, but there is a guy chasing with a chainsaw, actually, and there's a lot of that. But anyway, they have a house in there.
You think it's a low-end version of this called Pleatherface?
It's Rich Corinthian Leatherface is what they call it.
Yeah.
So, only see this if you're a vegan.
That's right.
You've seen both reboots, Scott, the 2003 and 2022. I'm sure you have.
I have. Yeah, I liked them both. I thought the newer one was okay. It's got some issues. It's kind of fun though. So if I'm going to watch, and it's a big F, one of the other Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboots, you would say probably go to the Jessica Biel. The 2003. I think the Biel one is closest to the bone as to what the inspiration is. Yeah, I think it's.
I really like
the whole Ed Gein, Psycho, and Silence of the Lambs inspiration.
A little more of that, and a little more like harrowing. Like, I don't know. Let's say Ermey's character alone is worth it. I think he's just a nut in it.
The only one I haven't seen is Leatherface, the properly titled Leatherface.
I saw that one too. Yeah, it's like
2017 Stephen Dorff. And it's one I want to watch. I haven't seen it yet. It's on Peacock as well.
It's worth seeing. Yeah, it's okay.
I want to see that one.
Here's the interesting thing: the ninth one, the most recent one, and the last one in the TCMCU, it is a sequel to the one we're sacking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like, I would like.
This is where the lore continues of the sequel.
Yes.
The deep lore of 4 continues.
Like I'm saying right here, right now, I would like to sack with you the 2022 movie titled
I'm down.
Chainsaw Massacre.
I'll do that. I saw it last year, but I'd see it again. Let's do it.
Now, don't forget, this movie is so large. The franchise is so large. It wasn't part 3, but there was a Texas Chainsaw 3D that came out in 2013. And I actually really like it. It doesn't matter if it's 3D.
Oh, you know what? That one's all right too. Yeah, 3D doesn't matter. Yeah, I've seen that one as well.
I liked it. 2013. It's a really
that's surprisingly good. I don't know why that one's good, but it's somehow pretty good. It's mostly because it just leans into the horror and it doesn't really mess around. It's kind of no nonsense horror movie, but it's a good time. I like it too. If we get more of these, I wouldn't be surprised because the Netflix one from last year, the one Randy's talking about.
Yeah.
Did really well, like numbers wise. So I don't know what's in the works right now, but that'd be all right. I mean, he's one of those iconic dudes. He's like, put him in there. Him and Freddie and Jason all have lunch. It's like these are iconic
Leatherface
characters.
never gets invited to any of the big horrors though.
The horror reunions.
I just want to make sure that I'm getting our hopes down. Every one of these movies is low rated. This most recent one is no different. It's 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it didn't get great reviews. It did well with from what I understand, Netflix was happy with the viewing, but they're the viewers, but I don't think it did. Critics didn't like it. But that's fine. No, critics don't like any of this shit except the first one. The first one the people only like it because it's at the time it was so visceral and almost
these movies aren't made for critics.
Well, it's hard to make this film. In the 70s, it was easy for us to look at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and look at it and go, "Oh yeah, that's anywhere in America that can happen." And now in 2024, it's a lot harder.
Because that's why the 70s were so well known for serial killer. The height of serial killers is because everybody could hide what they were doing. Everybody was sneaking around. There were no, drones or satellite images or any of that shit. You just kind of lived your life in the woods and killed people or whatever. That was the idea.
And if you drove if you drove across, if you hit the highway and you drove across a large stretch of land where nothing was it's the chance you might not be coming back.
Yeah,
right?
That was the feeling, right? That was the idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I always felt like of those kinds of movies, Texas Chainsaw feels like granddaddy, king of the hill here a little bit. So when it gets squandered so bad, it just pisses me off. It's like, this is shitty. Excuse me. It shouldn't be shitty.
Justice to the material. Yeah.
Yeah. Give it to, I don't know, who's the auteur director who would like to do something like this? James.
Steven Spielberg does Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, I don't mean like that. I mean like somebody.
You went on tour. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, who made all the Jiggersaw? What's his name? Jigsaw.
The Jiggersaw movies.
That guy. I can't think of his name. Not James Wan. The other Asian
Blumhouse guy, right?
The director that went on to the guy that went on to direct all those the ones we just saw, the one with the couple who can tell ghosts are around. What the hell is that called?
James Wan.
James Wan. I was right. Okay,
Couples
that's the
that
name.
can tell when ghosts are around. What
Yeah,
the
what
hell?
is-
Watched it was
the-
like that.
The Conjuring.
The Farmiga Conjuring, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm
Oh, the
struggling with that.
Conjuring. Oh God, your description of it is hilarious.
You know, the
Tell
movie with the
ghosts are
couple.
around.
You know what we should do? We should make a game where it's like the $20,000 pyramid a little bit, right? You have to describe
is,
a thing
yeah.
without saying what it is. I kind of like that. It's fun.
Except we're just right. We're not trying to come up with clever ways to get to the person to say it. It's like
No.
this is all I can think of about it right
My
now.
bad memory.
Yeah, that's required for the game to work.
I've got an answer to the original question, and I can't let it go.
Do it.
I
Is
feel
there a
like
question?
Do
I
it.
feel like I'm in a trap, and that is who's the director that you want to give this to,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
level it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And for me, it has to be Jordan Peele. It has to be.
Ooh, I can
Oh, that's
definitely
not
see Jordan
bad.
Peele
Yeah,
do it.
that's not bad. Actually, I really like
Because he's
that.
great at creepy families and stuff. He's already proved himself to be able to do that. He can
Well, and
totally pull that off. Illuminati stuff.
His use of long shots, his use of close-ups, like just all of it. I'm not, like, I spent a lot of this movie wishing that someone who was a great cinematographer was behind the camera, because so much of it is just like they put a camera on a tripod and they put the actors in front of it and they did a take 7 times and they used the best one.
Did you guys see the Fede Alvarez remake of not Grateful Dead? What's wrong with me? Evil Dead. Jeez.
Oh, huh.
It's very good. So he's the guy that did Romulus recently.
Yeah.
He I think maybe is your guy, because after seeing that, it's very true to both the bloody side of what made Evil Dead cool, the campy side of it, but it also added a whole new level of creep I wasn't expecting. If you guys haven't seen that, it's really worth your time. It's very good. I mean, if you
All I
like
could say is,
gory, horrible movies, but
oh yeah, well I love them.
yeah.
But I will say this movie also gives us one more thing that I don't think I can think of this happening in a recent film. Have we had a character that was so good of a name? I'm Not Hurt was the character's name.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right.
Oh, right.
What are the odds? Let's just say.
I'm
on
not
the
hurt.
on the night
Another
of the-
car kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the night of your prom, you go for a drive out in the country, you get stranded, and you end up getting murdered.
Mhm.
What are the odds that you also get into a wreck that same night with random people that aren't involved in the murders at all? What are it's I can't believe we have this absolute moment of that car wreck and we just breeze past it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stop.
Right.
Wait. This is so interesting. What were these guys doing out here? Were they trying to escape from the cult? Come on.
Was that in your director's cut there, Dunaway?
Yeah, was there backstory on I'm Not Hurt?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The guy's name is Stan. He was there with his. I'm kidding. I don't know his name. No extra information.
Stan. Nice pull though. You just pull Stan out of nowhere. It's good.
But it would be so easy just to say, oh, the car broke down, or he wasn't paying attention, or she wasn't paying attention, or she was angry and she drove off the road and just hit a tree. But they give you this other car for zero reason because there's nothing.
We do
he
kill
wrecked
the
us.
guy in the car who's hurt. There's
Yeah.
2 of them, right? So there's I'm Not Hurt and there's other guy. And
I thought there was only one guy that he just got killed.
I thought so
he
too.
came
What am
out-
I thinking of? Who else?
when go back and watch the wreck, I watched it
Nope.
several times. There are 2 guys in that car. There are 2 guys in that car.
I've never heard of
My fidelity
faster.
was too low to argue.
I've never heard of faster nope in my entire life. That was fantastic.
And when they lay this guy down on the ground, right? And he's just like, I guess he's passed out or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's still alive. And we get the trope of the neck snap guys.
Yeah, I do like. I do
love
like
a
a.
neck snap.
I do too. I like a good neck snap. Big fan.
Look,
Sure.
I can tell you this right now. I don't ever want anyone to ever ask me to pretend like they're snapping my neck because I am just too tense.
Oh,
I can't
God,
even.
no,
Yeah.
It
Or we're
feels
gonna
like too
pretend
much
to
could
snap
go
your neck?
wrong with that, right?
Oh, but you know what? You know how you do it is the actor being snapped just jerks his head and your hands just go with it. Like
Oh.
you don't actually
I
torque
still feel like
that
I'd
actor's
overjerk
head.
my head and
Yeah.
end up snapping my own neck. It's just too much. I just feel like there's too much possible that could go wrong with the with all that.
Yeah. What's your do you anyone have a favorite neck snap in a movie where it was sudden and like shocked you and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe they did that? trying to think.
Gwen Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Actually, you know what? That's a good call. It's not quite not exactly what I was thinking of, but it fits. It fits.
I know exactly, but
it totally fits.
What came to mind for me is in Dogma, when Bartleby, the angel,
Okay.
he's like having it out with a security guard.
Good pull.
It just snaps his neck with one hand.
That's a good pull. I don't know why it's such a. I mean, it is a thing that we act. You know what it is? It's the suddenness of it, right? It's just like so scary. The idea that you could just be suddenly someone grabs you, does this to your neck, and you're done. You're out. You don't even feel it. You're not there. You're gone. You're dead.
Instant death.
Yeah,
yes.
and when it happens to a character that you sort of care about, that's even worse. In this case, it was just a kid. We barely knew that kid. Like he was
but I love it when the person doing the snapping gets real mad. Like Data in Star Trek First Contact, he's feeling his emotions and he kills a Borg with a neck snap. Oh, it's so good.
I forgot about that. That's right. Oh, he kills a Borg with a neck snap. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's real good.
I gotta watch that again, dude.
Put it on stun, baby. Jeez.
Yeah, jeez Louise. Have we done any
phasers to stunning?
Have we done we've done Next Generation on here, right?
Yeah.
We do Generations or
I actually rewatched one recently, which was
well, I don't mean
on the planet.
Yeah, I don't mean the movies though. I mean I'm sorry.
I'm talking about when Beverly's on the ghost planet.
No, I literally mean the movie. Sorry, I said it wrong. I meant have we done like First Contact or something?
No.
We've only done original character movies.
That seems crazy to me. We should do it.
I watch them a lot, and so I'm very confused about that we haven't sacked Generations specifically.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, what's wrong with us? I mean, it's obviously not a Halloween time thing, but when that clears, we should do that. When
that gets out of here.
Yeah, we get the F out of that mess. Yeah, it's one of those movies where I think I'm never going to see it again. Like I'm done. I'm done with 4 Next Generation. This thing, I'll never see it again. However, it did get me in the mood for good Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, and it makes me want to go rewatch some of that stuff. Like I want to go back to the 03 one. I'm kind of in the mood, so it did serve that purpose, I suppose. It got me wanting to watch them.
Does anybody have like something that's adjacent, that's not of these 9 movies, but is similar and better?
Oh, good question.
In the series.
I'm asking you if this movie made you want to go watch something like Cabin in the Woods or whatever it might have inspired for you.
It made me want to keep going on that thing Ibbott's got me hooked on. From,
yeah.
Because there's a lot of weirdly
the woods and the
it's weird. The isolation part of it works really well, I think, or it reminds me of it a little bit. But if you just for our Film Sack audience, if you're looking for some genre TV that's pretty awesome, I would highly recommend From. It's very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a good point, Randy. What usually happens in Sacktober is all these movies make me just want to watch horror movies, but they do make me want to watch good ones.
That's funny. I just keep wanting to go worse and worse because I was like, after me and Drew watched this one, I said, I need to go back and watch 3. I haven't seen that in forever. And I also want to, what was the other one? I can't recall. I know what it was. I was talking to Andrew about all the old horror movies, and I said I haven't seen Halloween 2 was it 2 or 3? Was it 3? Maybe it was 3. The one with the mask.
Right, Season of the Witch, right? Is
Season of the Witch. Yeah, Season of the Witch. Halloween 3? Or is that 2?
I think that's 3.
3, I believe. Yeah. I think that's correct.
No Mike Myers at all, just the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch it? Did you do it, or you haven't done it yet?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Did we? I feel like we did that. Did we not do that one for Film Sack?
No. Season of the Witch? No.
Wait.
Okay.
You know what? Yes, we did.
What?
Nope.
Are you sure?
No.
Are you sure, man? Hold on.
Yes, I have. Wait. Okay. We sacked a movie called Season of the Witch.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't Halloween.
Cage, right? Nicolas Cage in that one.
Oh, yeah, Nick Cage. Right. Okay. All right. So it's not the same Season of the Witch that you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, we did.
Right.
I knew we saw something.
Halloween 3 from 1982. I'm certain I've never seen it. and I don't know exactly why, but I'm certain I've never seen it. And I always say every year, we need to sack Halloween movies. We need to start from the first one, and every freaking year, the first one isn't streaming for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why does that happen? It's weird. It's Halloween. Everything should be out. Should all be streaming. What are they trying to
Bring
do?
out your good stuff. Bring out your dead. Come
you
on.
think it's because they're forcing people, or they're not forcing, but they want people to go spend $9 on a thing?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you own the rights to streaming a property,
what
that's
movie are they guaranteed to want to watch this season? Let's make it cost money to do it.
There was something like that where they made like it was like Elf or something, and they were showing it in July on like 4 streaming services, and then Christmas comes around and it just disappears. It's like, you dicks. I know what you guys are doing. Buttholes.
Gosh, I have owned Elf in every way. Like, I owned a digitally signed copy of it that you could only watch on some website.
Right.
I have
not signed, autographed, Dunaway. I heard you. I heard you right there. I'm excited.
I have a great Blu-ray of Elf. I went and got it ripped and compressed so I could carry it around because I have to watch it on Christmas.
Wow,
that's one of those few of those.
Fifth
movies.
Element is for me where I've got it in 18 different formats, including PlayStation UMD and.
Oh, you have an UMD of that? That's awesome.
I have the UMD of that.
Don't tell Dunaway. Dunaway will come to your house and steal it.
I don't know where it is, but I have it.
Because that's just like something he'd get. But yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
The only UMD I ever owned, I think, was Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, didn't they come with
something like that, right?
The PSP, I think.
It was like a pre-order bonus or some weird deal.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, right. I think that's it.
Something like that.
Brian, do you know why there's 2 different versions of The Fifth Element on Blu-ray? There's 2 completely different Blu-rays.
I don't know why, but I'll bet I have them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Do they have the same name? I mean, is it?
Yeah, it's the same movie. It's just 2 different like transfers. One, the cover has Lilu standing in the street, and the other is the original cover of the 3 faces of the name.
Yeah. I don't ever remember knowing if there was a director's cut or a deluxe edition or anything like that. I feel like
he cut out for you guys.
The rest of us are all still here.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, weird. Did I cut out again?
Yeah, it was like your morning ones. It was like a
weird.
You hear a little doot, 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 and then you go blank, and then you're back.
Yeah, you're back.
And now we feel
TDS. I'm totally blaming TDS. It's forever going to be TDS.
Yeah, it's TDS. It's tedious.
Anyways, it is tedious. Anyway, as far as I know, there's only ever been one version of the movie, right? Like just a regular theatrical. This is the release of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think Besson ever did a director's cut, and I don't even know. Are there deleted scenes on the Blu-ray?
Oh,
there are.
Maybe it's more how they did it stuff or something like.
Maybe, yeah, it could be more of a lot more bonus material on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, that was my first Blu-ray, and my first DVD.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why that.
Yeah, right. See, it's one that you.
It was my standard. It was like,
I gotta buy it.
Yeah, what are these DVDs about? You're saying they're $30? Wow, where am I going to spend that 30? And that was exactly the one I went to. I was like, well, yeah, this never gets old. Let's watch this. Nothing wrong with that.
There was a genius move by the movie industry that happened in the 90s, which is they took the price of owning a movie at home down from like $70 to $90 to something affordable, like $19.99. What a move. It tricked us all into being collectors.
Yeah, it did. It worked. It worked. I like that. Does it sound like suckers? What a bunch of suckers. Yeah.
Suckers.
Smartest thing you could have done, just what it is.
Yeah. How many Terminator 2 versions?
Oh, right. I know, dude.
Do I have.
I probably have 3. I think I have VHS somewhere in a box. I have DVD and Blu-ray of Terminator 2. Only 2 though.
I have the Laserdisc. I know that.
Do you have all the Terminators or just the 2? Or just
2 on Laserdisc, and I think all the rest on the first 2 on DVD or Blu-ray, one of the 2. But I don't have all. I think it's just T2 that I've got probably multiple versions of.
I was in the mood for that the other day. I didn't watch it, but once in a while you get these like
that's
feeling of like, hey,
one.
I should watch something awesome. How about Terminator?
Turned us all. That's the one that turned us all into collectors, right there.
Hey.
Yeah, kind of feels like it. All right, let's see. There was something I wrote down here I wanted to mention. Oh, and I said it in the top of the thing. You usually get, your horror movie's got a teenager. Someone has to pee. Someone always has to pee.
Oh yeah.
And then usually when they pee, they either get ambushed or their friend
they're
gets
vulnerable
taken.
right there. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
This movie had 2 people peeing 2 different times. And I just thought that was gutsy and ballsy to do that because, you only really need the one. And our chick in the bucket this week, I think, is Barry, and he peed and then died. Or, yeah, he got killed. But then we never heard from Barry again. Nothing with the body. They didn't prop him up at dinner.
No. I was waiting to see him at the table and,
Next to Grandpa.
Something.
next to Grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah. And Grandpa was just tired? Or was he...
Grandpa's always tired. He's dead.
But
But
that's
he's
what I was going to
also
ask
living.
you. We were supposed to think he was dead, or we were supposed to think he's...
Oh, absolutely. Because I kind of forgotten about it, and I was like, "Oh, was Grandpa really dead in this one? Is that who that's supposed to be?" And then when he got up and walked off, I was like, "Ee."
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Where'd he go, though? I don't remember what he did.
He had enough of this shit. He's going to bed. I'll see you kids in the morning time. I'm hitting the bed.
Hitting the hay there. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I don't blame him. I'd want to go to bed, too, after sitting with those people. Gross.
Dumbass kids.
But everybody else there, like some of the other bodies, those were, I assume, other victims. Like, rando victims, some people they picked up along the way. The friends they made along the way.
Along the way.
Also 90 minutes. This felt longer to me, and I'm not used to that.
Oh, it totally did.
Yeah.
The movie has some of the longest pursuits. Like, it actually had me saying you don't need to chase a person for very long for me to think it's exciting. But if you chase a person for very long, I stop thinking it's exciting.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting
exactly.
it.
You're just going basically from the same 2 or 3 rooms. Just now she's back in the kitchen. Now she's back in the dining room, and it just gets to the point of like, all right, can she get to a place where she can at least hide? But no, she gets in the greenhouse, and the first thing she does is make a crap ton of noise. Well, she falls into the greenhouse after the most exciting jump from an antenna onto an electrical wire.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Telephone line, which is damn impressive to get enough
Momentum.
on the antenna to be able to get to the wire.
Yeah.
I wrote
but
down
then
they don't make those like they used to, man. That thing.
No, that thing would pulled right
Grandpa
down.
put that up when he was a young man. It was
100 pounds of Zellweger.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
But,
rated for 1 Zellweger, no more than that.
Exactly. But then she, instead of hiding, and I said this earlier, instead of hiding and just giving us a little bit of suspense of like trying to keep from making noise while she's breathing and all that stuff, she just immediately makes noise, gets out, runs out of the greenhouse into instant daylight and gets away.
Yeah. I thought she was she's 25 at this point. I thought she was really perfect for this role.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
final girl.
Yeah,
Yes.
good final girl. Like shows up as a nerd, eventually becomes the tough one. I think that worked, and I think she's the right person for it. And I also think Zellweger's just a good actress in general. I know she's problematic,
and she does the perfect trope of being the chaste and not CHASED, but the CHASTE, like the one in the car that doesn't quote unquote deserve to die because they talk about sex and talk about the size of someone's boobs or whatever.
Yeah.
Which,
I'm sorry, but no, not for this movie. Like the whole thing should have been, if you're gonna write a script that has this terror in it, the script should have included the couple in the back seat who pop up were literally having sex.
Yeah.
They were smoking pot. They weren't having sex.
Oh, it's such a letdown when they're only smoking pot.
Yeah, there's an opportunity.
she's one of them. She's you can't have her having sex because if she's going to be the final girl, she has to be a virgin, basically.
Yeah,
she has to be unspoiled.
Yeah. Unsullied.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't make the tropes.
Yeah. He just comments on them just like the rest of us.
That's right. Exactly.
But okay. So that I think that part's handled really well. There are other tropes that every horror movie has that this movie tries to have that I don't think are as successful. Now, one of them was that McConaughey was shaping up to be one of the most dastardly scary things ever. We've already kind of talked about this, but he comes sort of toothless toward the end, and that bummed me out. Like when he died, I'm supposed to feel really triumphant, but I'm like, not really. Like, so he got clipped by a plane. Like, big deal, dude.
Right.
Did they
got north by northwested?
Who was in the plane? Was
by a plane?
it Timu Judd Nelson that did that? Who did that?
No, because he's in the limousine. It's an airplane in a bucket, I think, right? It's a pilot in a bucket.
What?
Some Illuminati.
Some crop, because he's crop dusting.
Yeah, but
he's
aimed for
employed.
him.
I'm assuming he's the guy he's the old guy across from the real estate agency.
But did he? Did
Barry?
Damn it, Barry. No, but did he? But was he? He seemed to turn to aim to him, right?
Yeah, he totally did.
Okay.
It was an intentional, like, taking out the guy who's chasing Zellweger, but we don't know. I don't think we know who he is. And it didn't dawn on me until we brought it up that right after that she gets in the limousine. There's no time for him to park land the plane and get into a limo and get over to where she's at.
Yeah, there's some leftover cheese there. I don't understand what happened. I want to understand that more, but whatever. I'm not watching it again. So if somebody at home can say where that pilot, what the pilot's role is, please let us know. We'd love to hear it. What else did I write down here? If you look at the director, this Kim Henke, whatever it is, Henkel, he looks like he's on a list, and if you see him, you should report him to the local FBI office. Just take a look at his IMDb photo. I mean, he's fine, but he looks like he's in trouble. That's all I'm saying.
He's not legally allowed to talk to you if you're under 17.
That's a little bit how it feels. For whatever reason. But anyway, it's just something I noticed about that. I also noticed that she gets Jerry Maguire the very next year. See, to me, these couldn't be further apart.
Oh, wow. No kidding. Only 1 year apart.
Yeah,
Jeez.
year and a half, something like that. And she was, likely when this was in theaters or being released, she was working on Jerry Maguire, which would be her big, I think
breakthrough,
that's pretty much it for her. Yeah. Big problem I had. Nobody... Okay, they're at the pizza drive-thru. It's already a little weird. A pizza drive-thru doesn't really exist, unless it's crap or just under a heat lamp, or I don't know how you do it.
I can't even imagine. It's got to be a burger place that just also sells pizzas, but not full-size pizzas. You'd think like that would be a pizza by the slice kind of thing.
Yeah, and they had fries and they had burgers and they had shakes and stuff.
And they hand those pizzas out sideways.
Oh, okay. So number one,
enjoy your cheese.
That's an issue. That's a big issue.
We covered that one with what was it? Firewalk? No, not Firewalker. What, some recent movie where we talked about that.
What was it? Oh no, it was our watch along of that thing that Monica gave us. Right. Devil in the House or whatever it was.
Yeah, House of the Babysitter of the Devil or something like that.
And they did a pretty good job of showing the pizza all mushed together on one side. I was happy about that. But anyway, this thing also, she's waiting for her drinks. And then he finally says, "Your drinks are ready, ma'am," and hands her a bag. There's no way you put your drinks in like that. I was so annoyed.
What, you don't get a bag of drinks down at the Texas
served in a steel bladder or something. Yeah.
Big Al's Pizza Quickie or whatever the hell it was called.
Right.
Big Hot Al's Pizza and bag of drink. Come on down.
Yeah. It was really weird.
Just to maybe stave off some emails, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.fandom.com describes the plane as an apparent order of the Illuminati. I think somebody said, you said, Brian, an Illuminati plane. Order of the Illuminati airplane operated by one of Rothman's colleagues swoops overhead and the plane kills Vilmer.
Now, where did we learn that? Like,
we intuit it. We
fandom, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.fandom.com.
I mean, where did they learn it?
Brains.
Where did they learn it? Are they doing that? They're just making it up. Saying,
is it on the side of the plane or something? Like, how did you know it, Dunway? Oh, is it really? Okay.
Well, so that is on the side of
I know it's on the side
truck.
of the tow truck. I see it there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you want to label all your Illuminati vehicles with.
Yes, the Illuminati is nothing if they're not concerned about branding.
Yeah. What's the point even, right? If you're not a good,
we don't want to be
branding all of.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is called a Gainax ending. That's the official trope.
Gainax ending.
Gainax. Yeah, okay. Gainax was a kind of like a producer of cartoons.
Oh,
a Gainax ending doesn't make any sense. or it makes sense, but in order to make sense of it, you have to discuss it with other people, look up the meaning, find symbolism that you didn't see.
We do that every week.
Yeah, we do that a lot. We got to fill in the blank somehow,
Yeah.
And this is definitely how.
What is this director trying to tell us?
What's he saying?
I'd much rather get little tiny hints that lead up to it, kind of like sugar.
Kind of like baby food. I get you. You like to watch movies like you like to eat your baby food. I got you.
No, not quite that hand to mouth, Brian. But like little tiny hints that I can go back and go, oh my God, okay, they really did lead up to this. Sugar is the best recent example of that. The
TV show?
Colin Farrell TV show.
I gotta watch that.
You put that on your list once you catch up with From, because you're going to email me or text me or Discord me at episode 7 and go, what the hell?
Going on.
Really? Yeah. That makes 2 Colin Farrell series I need to freaking watch right now.
Oh, and Penguin being the other one.
Yeah,
sure.
that thing's getting raves, man. People are raving about that freaking thing. I'm so happy about that. So glad it's doing good.
I feel like the Gainax ending can get earned. You can have one that people just roll with.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the best example recently is the movie Don't Look Up. The very last scene, it takes place like 20,000 years after the rest of the movie.
Oh, right.
And if you just watch that and you want information, you're going to have a really bad time. But the movie has set up your brain to just roll with it. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's funny. And then you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no.
This movie with the plane, no, it doesn't at all earn this.
No, I don't think so. And also, just how many times are you going to end your Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie with Leatherface swirling around with a chainsaw and a dress?
Best ending. That's of course.
It should like either do it for all of them or just do it for one of them. But just having, I guess, new actor, new chance for twirling.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, right. Oh, hey, I got this role. I automatically get to do a twirl scene.
I get the first movie as Leatherface. And I get to do the twirl, right?
Yeah. Why change? Why mess with perfection? I mean, what a great way to end a movie.
It reminds me of because we're doing this rewatch of all the Alien movies with the girls, and the thing that they always seem to do is there's always an ending with Ripley or someone doing a little bit of dialogue, monologue, prologue, or I guess postlogue. What do you call it? And what's the last thing you do in a book? Epilogue. Going, this is so-and-so from the Nostromo, only survivor from the thing, signing out. They do that almost every single film, and I like it. It's a comforting hook to just bring it all together. Mm-hmm. I guess that's kind of what this is, because he does it in all of them. He just dances out there. I guess they did too good of a job in the first movie. I don't know.
It doesn't. In the first one, it looked menacing and freaky and scary, right?
Yeah.
It just looks like it's in a fit of anger and rage and confusion. This one is just like I wanted there to be Bubsy Berksky music playing in the background, and a swimming pool full of synchronized swimmers and stuff like that.
What do you think of the decision for these movies to have the family be a bigger role than Leatherface? Like, it seems to me like you're just
that's the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
Leatherface gets all the all the but if you really watch the movies, it's not really about Leatherface.
I guess they always have been like that.
I'm praising this movie for trying to expand around what's going on here.
Yeah.
And like it is the correct idea, in my opinion, to make it satirize other horror movies in itself. And they just don't. I just don't really get to that point ever.
Well, that or not remake, but the newer one on Netflix is them leaning into the Leatherface thing and really not so much the family. Although the girl who survives, who I guess is on that gurney in this one, she's all over that new one, that actress.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the direct sequel thing, I think that's where the connection is, because she's on that gurney. I don't remember how it started. She's very old, obviously, so she's playing, as if a lot of time has gone by, but she has to help these teenagers survive, and she's seen this.
It's hilarious because usually I get all upset. I'm like, Scott, stop telling the spoilers. It's
not a movie
Texas
like that.
Chainsaw. It's Leatherface. You're not telling me nothing.
No,
this experience. This all about the experience.
Yeah, some people will live, some people will die.
But it's so much scarier with the family, because I keep thinking about the best ever use of that was the X-Files episode.
X-Files, the Peacock family.
The Peacock family. Best
good.
example of the family whose house you don't want to accidentally show up on the doorstep of.
I still have nightmares about them pulling Mama out from underneath the bed.
Yeah. That is one hell of a thing.
Yeah, that's the best
anybody who
episode.
makes the Texas Chainsaw Massacre should watch that movie or watch that episode of X-Files first and then say, okay, that's kind of what we need to do with this. All right, we get it now.
It's already been written.
I forgot they were called the Peacock Family. What a
I did too.
I think you have to watch it on Peacock to see them.
They're beautiful.
They are beautiful, right?
Mhm,
Let's be honest.
Sure.
No, that
many years of inbreeding, they are beautiful.
if
They're pride, man.
if
They're
I remember right,
Generation.
weren't they wasn't that episode something
They're
they got
proud peacocks,
banned or
man.
something? No, I mean like the NBA, whoever, I can't remember who. Oh, Fox, I guess. It wouldn't air the first one because it was so
Oh, really?
it was something like that. There was
So it had to get redone, kind of thing.
yeah, or there was some deal where the network just balked at it, and it killed on DVD, and they were like, "All right, fine,
Oh,
we'll
wow.
re-air it." Or I can't remember what the deal was, but the censors were like freaking out about that one. I can't remember the deal. Someone in the someone's in the
Speak up, chat.
the listener.
Speak up.
They've been so quiet this entire episode.
I know, really, they haven't said anything. I don't know what's going on. What else is interesting here?
Scott grossed out the most. It's the licky face.
Oh my
right?
gosh, are you kidding? It's the 100% that.
Gross.
Or is it McConaughey sticking his two fingers into Zellweger's mouth?
I mean, that was the leader until that dude came along and decided to make it worse. And it's not like he just went up the side of her face. He lingered way too long.
yes. It was in there for such a long time.
And I wanted
This
to
is
bust
acting?
in. I wanted to save Zellweger so bad. I was like, "You poor thing. Oh, you all right? Everything okay? Did you drop
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, good.
I feel like I somehow saw
Leatherface.
a bunch of actors face to face yesterday.
Right.
And I like it's interesting to me, like the McConaughey Zellweger face to face thing, like because you just imagine these young actors like talking to each other, but maybe they didn't.
I'm going to
maybe
win
they
an
did.
Oscar someday.
Yeah, someday
But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like maybe they were like completely separate until this filming of the scene. I don't know. Like what's a rehearsal like? Because like so last night on Saturday Night Live, Maya Rudolph and Andy Samberg had a face to face moment that was a classic of comedy. It was this awesome moment, and they put their noses together, and you could tell these two comedians really enjoy each other. Like they rehearsed this. They like really were looking forward to the stupidity of it.
So comfortable with each other that there's no boundaries of like, really, do whatever, nuzzle in on me or do whatever, and
But then here on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, I'm just like, did they even like? Was she properly compensated for this? Because damn.
Yeah, it was a lot, dude. It really was. Like that. I think that's where the movie worked, is when they were in that house and he's just torturing these people. And I'm just like, oh, this is uncomfortable. Like, even as a filmed thing, what you guys are doing is just really raw and uncomfortable. And it works for the movie. It's about the best part of it. I mean, it's the most uncomfortable part, but it's the part that where I bought into it. Anytime they open their mouths, I was like, okay, freaking, you guys are talking.
Yeah, you'll notice that none of us are saying, man, the quotations guy, absolutely the best part of this film.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of his role. Like, there's something about his character type that I do like.
If he had never said a word in this whole movie, he would have been amazing.
He would have been more menacing. Instead, he was like, something, something, something. That's William Shakespeare. It's like, shut up, dude.
Exactly. Yes. It's
shut up. Like, you suck. You suck in every possible way. Did he end up dying? I don't remember what happened to that guy. Did he die?
He was flying the plane. I didn't want to break your mind. I didn't want to break your mind.
What? They had a runway in the back of that house?
I can't remember how that went. But
I'm telling you, he was taking a little revenge. I'm just telling you, he was flying the plane.
Well, by the way, don't give a character a 2-initial name like what was his name? CW or WT or I don't know. I don't care.
Or something like that?
Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care. I will never care about a 2-initial character.
Yeah.
Ever.
not you. Well, hold on now. Let's test that.
Hold on now.
What about High in Raising Arizona?
Oh, that's right.
What's funny about High is when John Goodman calls him H.I. That's what's
Yes,
funny.
right.
That's like in the story.
Yes,
Because his name isn't H.I.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
W.E. is the character's
What's
name.
another-
W.E.
What's another one though? Like, there's got to be a 2 initial name that we like. Oh yeah, he's cool.
I can't think of one.
Oh my gosh, you might be right.
Too
I
hard.
hate this. There's got to be somebody. I'm so annoyed. Somebody write in. Who's a
New
2-letter?
level unlocked. Don't care for it.
I want one
It's like an RJ or there's got to be something like a
DJ or a
DJ. Sure.
shit. I'm gonna lose this contest. I don't know.
You're gonna lose this competition.
I mean,
of names.
you guys might be right. Maybe there's no such thing as a good, because you're right. HI is when it's cool.
Yeah, that's about the only.
That was the height of it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Jeez
that's the
Louise.
exception that proves the rule.
Let's see. Chick in the Bucket I mentioned, I think, is Barry. So Barry, congratulations on being our Chick in the Bucket. Where's my bucket?
Grab a bucket.
And
Well, at least don't
yeah.
have to worry about prostate cancer. That's a good news.
Prostrate. Yes.
Prostrate.
That was so freaking funny. I went back and watched that a second time because I was laughing so hard.
Do you think it was intentional?
I would
Right?
have
Oh, it was definitely intentional.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. You can't
Kind
tell.
of interesting too that he was like when the kid who got his neck snapped later on was hurt.
Mhm.
Renee Zellweger said we need to keep him warm. He's in shock. And then Barry's character was like, "How did you know that? Because his dad's a doctor and he knows all the technical terms like prostrate."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Okay, weird."
very weird.
I love these kids so much.
Yeah,
And it's I love the whole trope, like the entire like suite of tropes around teenagers in a horror movie and they want to have sex and all that. I love that. Apparently you can completely fumble it, and this movie did, and I'm sad because
Yeah.
it's not that difficult to entertain me with these tropes.
no, I like when they're done well. Look, I'm now of the opinion that McConaughey should do some horror movies. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know what he would have been good at? American Psycho. I know we have one,
the
and
Christian Bale role.
yeah, everyone thinks Christian Bale was the ultimate for that role. McConaughey might be your man.
Because he can really quickly, like Bale, go back and forth between that you know,
I'm a good guy.
The embossing. I've got the emboss text on my business cards to Huey Lewis was the
Yeah.
king of
Yeah, dude. Don't wear that outfit again or whatever he says. I can't remember that movie.
I think there was an opportunity missed when Matthew McConaughey was in his 40s to have him play an evil villain in something where, and I'm not talking about Dark Tower, like where he's like
Oh, what a
the
wasted
Joker
chance.
or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. He's very much
Yeah.
like he's very much now more like the introspective, reflective kind
well,
of
and he always has
time
been.
of his life.
From
Yeah.
the beginning. He's always had this character that people love to hire where he just talks about philosophy and stuff.
Mhm.
And
Right.
sounds like he's a little stoned, you know?
I love his philosophy because if you really break it down, it's like, oh, he's full of shit. But when he's speaking it, you're like, is this some kind of magician? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, dude.
But since we're probably cursed to a future where at least every election somebody of a celebrity type runs for election, I feel like that's just going to happen forever now.
Right.
We
McConaughey's
talked
shown,
about this.
yeah, he's shown some interest. I'd vote for McConaughey over just about any of them because I think he's kind of normal. Like he's kind of hey man.
Public servants
know.
should not.
I'm
be
not saying they
celebrities.
should.
Whatever.
I'm not
Only if
saying
he
they
does a
should.
campaign ad where he's rolling a booger between his two fingers while he drives the Lincoln.
I get that. I get your point, Dunaway, and you're absolutely right. I'm saying because we're cursed with it anyway. Let me pick.
Yeah.
Well, I wanna pick one.
The lesser of two evils, I guess you would say.
Yeah, like if you're going to say to me, "Oh, The Rock is running against Dave Bautista," I'll take Bautista. Like
Right.
like I've got.
Who would you rather? Is this a game of?
Who would you rather vote
Right.
for instead of who would you
All right.
rather? It's like F,
Dude.
Marry, Kill, but somehow worse.
Right.
I love this that our lives have been this long string of actors that are famous being asked to run for office.
Mhm.
Like
I don't understand it.
I remember all these moments, like when Mayim Bialik was asked to run for office, or when Jodie Foster was asked to run for office, or Ashton Kutcher. There was a whole, like, there were years when people were talking about Ashton Kutcher. He's going to be in, he's going to be governor of California or something.
Wow. No.
Know who I want to punch? People who interview other people and then ask them, are they going to run for office? I want to punch them. I'm like, what kind of dumbass questions is that to ask?
Yeah, it happens a lot. I think, and that's my point. We're so obsessed with, they are our royalty, whether we like it or not. This is what we did, like England did. Well, England got both, I guess, because they also have.
So basically, it's just them going, "Hey, when would you like to rule us?
Yeah,
you seem cool.
You seem dictatory. You want to come in here and dick my tater?"
Like, I don't know. I've watched a lot of Conan O'Brien's podcast, and
very good.
He gets asked all the time if he wants to do something public servicey because he went to Harvard. That's always the question.
Yeah.
You went to Harvard. You want to be,
Well, Jon Stewart gets it all the time just because Jon Stewart's so damn quick and funny and also
and he
pretty
deals
smart.
with politics every day, so that kind of makes sense.
But
right?
he's like, F that. I don't want to do that. He doesn't want to do it.
It's terrible.
I don't blame him. Why would you want to do this? Like, on purpose? And then you realize, oh, that's why they're all so shitty, because
who
they're
I'd
doing
vote
it on purpose. You're a psychopath if you want this.
I'd vote for Leatherface to be up there as president.
Whoa.
just dance around with that chainsaw.
Spin it around, yeah.
And then we'd all be like, oh, shit, I guess we better all take care of and be serious for a minute.
Imagine there's a
lunatic.
press conference and the president hasn't come in yet. And then all the journalists hear him coming down the hallway hollering. Yeah. They just all leave. Oh, press conference over.
They're eating the cats. Where can I get some?
Yeah, we're gonna get some of those cats. All right. Any other additional thoughts about this film before we go to clips?
I'm hoping your audio clips. I know one of them for sure because we talked about it in the chat, and I knew that I saw that before I even saw it was in the trivia. But I'm hoping another one references a certain Dr. Seuss book.
I think I have that one. But also the one that you found, let's talk about it real quick. So this movie, I guess every single one of them has someone yelled at your brother ruined a door or
it's
something?
Sadly just these two. It's the original and this one. And the only reason I caught it is because a friend of mine would always reference that line when we talked about this movie. It would always be, "Look what your brother did to the door." And she'd always, that was her favorite line from the movie. And then when that came up in this one, I'm like, oh, yes, they said it again. Yes. And I'm like, oh my God, do they say it in every movie? And I was like, no, just these
just
two.
The two. Missed opportunity.
I really wanted to be there. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. Okay. Or the get away from her, you bitch thing that they do in all the alien movies. Yeah.
Right.
Before you do quotes, I always watch these movies trying to imagine what scene is going to really capture Scott. And for me, it has to be the scene where Darla drives to town with Jenny in the trunk. I'm hoping we're going to hear some of that because
I think there's a bit of that. I can't remember now, but there was so much that's the other thing. I'll say this. I think her performance, as I've stated already, is good. But I do think that she goes from terrified as you should be, full shock, like all the horror that is being kidnapped by these people, to being a kind of sardonic and sarcastic a little too easily. It's like, you're scared or you're funny, pick a lane. Like, I don't know. I don't know why that bugs me. I need some consistency.
Renee Zellweger's too good for this movie.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, I think McConaughey is probably too good for this movie, but whatever.
But regardless, he's perfect for it.
Yeah. You know what's great about him is
we're glad they're both in it for sure.
Yeah.
I've written his name about 6 different times.
And it's spell it different every time.
Yep, and it's all different, every single one. Listen to one of these. I go, it took McConaughey.
McConaughey is what it is.
I said it took McConaughey a little longer to get his next big role, but I spelled it MC, lowercase c, uppercase KONAHEEE. Yeah.
And you know what, Scott? What? I refuse to learn how to spell it. I don't know why. I'm not going to do it. Not doing it.
You're just not going to do it. I don't blame you. Do I blame you?
That's how I think it is. I'm not sure, but that's how I think it is.
Let's see.
McConaughey.
I think you got it right.
Nice.
For some reason, I memorized how to spell it, and you're correct. McConaugh.
I have no memorization of this at all.
None.
Yeah, and I don't have. You know what, Brian? You just did it. Like, the best way to do that is to say it the way phonetically. Just do it phonetically.
Yeah.
And you'll get there.
And we have close to us, the bottom left corner, I guess that would make it the southwest corner of Nebraska, right across the border from Colorado, is a Lake McConaughey, but it's spelled almost the same way without the E. It's just Lake McConaughey. And I always wonder if there was any sort of family connection with just a misspelling at some point for someone. But,
maybe there's a measurable weed in there.
There probably is. There are definitely weeds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that guy liked his weed.
Might
still like his weed. I don't know. I have no idea.
Sure he does.
Yeah, I have no idea. He looked pretty happy at the Oscars last year, so I don't know.
Gonna talk about my dad for a little bit more. Better sit down.
Oh, man. All right. Moving on. Let's go to some clips. I have a few clips to share. I'm in the wrong place here. Here we go. All right. Let's play this one. This is He Hates Teens.
Oh my God, where have you been? We've been waiting. The wedding's going on inside. We need to put you on the top tier. Don't mind the footprints in the icing. I'm excited. They look good. It's like a vest thing.
Okay, that guy, he was a teacher, or what was his deal?
I think he must have been a teacher because, like, at the end of that, I hate teenagers or whatever he says. And
he's out there smoking. It was weird. I couldn't figure that out.
That's the guy in the plane.
Oh, I see.
Now it all makes sense. Finally.
Now I get it. Now I get it. All right, here's Barry from the movie.
Barry? Oh, Barry.
Yeah, Barry. You know Barry?
Barry.
Oh, Barry.
Has anybody seen Barry?
I got a few berries.
I know one girl who's seen Barry.
Yeah, from the inside.
Yeah. Yes. Well, girls have what? Anyway, here's Barry being a dick.
Look, my father's a doctor, okay? I think I know what I'm talking about, so f*** you, Jenny.
Did we ever figure out what... Did we ever figure out what his real dad did? Because he said doctor there. Later he said lawyer. He kept making it up. Kept saying different things.
It's a running joke.
It wasn't very good because they didn't really pay off.
Agreed.
He died right after he peed. We never got closure.
Yeah.
What's your problem, Jenny?
What's your problem, Jenny?
Oh, Barry. Here is even better Barry.
Barry.
Oh, wow. I didn't even catch that in the thing.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic Barry.
I sent that
Let me tell
to
you.
Barry last night. He thought that was pretty funny.
I don't care much for Barry, but I do respect his non-shy bladder. There's no way I could have peed in that facility.
Oh,
My
yeah,
bladder
dude.
would have exploded.
No. I would have been... I go into camping mode in a house like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I can hold it. I can hold it for days if I need to.
I'm holding it, thanks.
Yeah, I don't care if I've got like explosive diarrhea. I am not going there. Here is girls have what?
Girls have tits.
Okay, thanks, Barry. Girls have tits.
Girls have
My dad's
tits.
a doctor.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a doctor. That's how I know my dad's a doctor, and he told me.
And the scientific term is tits.
If he dies, I don't know what this is. Oh, I know what it is.
If he dies, I'll be a murderer.
She's really bad, you guys. Sorry, Dunaway.
murderer.
She's so bad. She's terrible, that girl. Okay, here's Renee delivering some sweet lines.
We need to call an ambulance.
We need an ambulance. I don't get this old Texas saying, so Randy, you might have to help us with your upbringing. Okay. So here we go.
Could you just tell him how the cows eat the cabbage and you won't have any trouble?
You just tell him that the cows ate the cabbage.
Tell him
How the
the
cows-
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
What is
that
that?
makes total sense.
I don't get it.
It's just
Well,
the way
good.
life is.
You
That's
have
how
to-
the cows eat the cabbage.
Right. So so overall, everybody knows that you need to have a really good fence or wall between your cows and your garden, or your cows will just ruin your garden. One cow that gets into the garden is the end of the garden.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I guess some people just don't know how the cows eat the cabbage, and they need to be told.
Okay.
Interesting.
And so the idea is, hey, cows eat cabbage. What are you going to do? That's the idea?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
No,
You just need to put up a fence
You need
because
to put up
otherwise
a
the cows
really
eat
good
the
fence.
cabbage.
Okay. All right. I feel like I
cows
learned a little
respect
something.
fences. I'll tell you that. They
Oh, yeah. If there's anything
No,
a
they
cow.
do not.
Yeah. They don't respect anything. They're stupid.
It's so weird how a deer will respect a fence. You can put up a fence that's 2 feet tall, and a deer will walk for miles to get around it. But then a cow is just like, oh, what? This is a brick wall? I'm going right through it.
Yeah, they don't care. They're just going to be meat and milk and things. They don't give a shit.
Leatherfaces.
Yeah, they're going to be leather faces. Here's one about old farts.
Hey, see you old fart.
All right. Okay. Still not sure what that was aimed at. That was what's her name at the
old man across the road who's watching.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember him. There was an old man across the road. Did I forget
There's
that?
an old man across the road. You just see him peeking out from his blinds after.
He's peeking out, going, "Well, there goes another one." Dumbass teenagers. Click.
I read that she used a double for her boobs out the window shot because the camera cut to her side boobs very quickly.
Just below the chin kind of thing.
Yeah. I think that should have been a red flag. I would have seen that from this, this woman who's all dressed up in her suit dress and is like, her pantsuit running the sweet little office and stuff. And the minute she flashed her boobs in the window, I would have gone, yeah, maybe we don't want her help. Maybe we need to.
Maybe we should go.
Yeah. I mean, do what you want with your own boobs, but I don't want your help. Goodbye. All right. Here's an all right. Adding an all right. As Dunaway has pointed out, he only said 2 all rights in Dazed and Confused. Yeah. So here you go.
You tired yet, boy?
Oh, this isn't
Please,
it.
mister. You're scaring me. Oh, shit. What did I do? Let's just say you're shit out of luck, son.
That's not even the right clip, but that's fine.
No,
I mislabeled it.
No, we should save that. Yeah, we need to save that for shitoutofluck.com.
Yeah, that did not work out well. All right, don't call me Dumb Barry.
Don't call me Dumb Barry.
Okay.
Okay, I won't call you Dumb Barry. How about Dumb Sally?
Dumb Barry.
What do you want?
I like that. Here she is delivering her worst line.
I told you I'm a bitch.
I told you I'm a bitch.
I'm a bitch. I'm a
liar. I'm a thief. I'm a left tire.
I'm a sinner.
I'm a saint. Someone touch my taint. All right, here's the next one. Bonafide moron.
Of course you didn't, because you're a bona fide moron.
You're bonafide moron.
I don't think anybody says that better than McConaughey. That's
Bonafide moron.
Well, that was the other dude. That's the guy.
It was W.E.
Yeah.
W.E.
W.E.
Yeah.
Which is short for we.
We. Anybody seen We?
You guys seen We? He's out reading a book from some quotation guy. Anyway, here's a chainsaw, it tells you.
No, he's out there with a chainsaw. No, he had a chainsaw. He was chasing me with a chainsaw.
Listen here.
So wait, was it a chainsaw?
You had me a chainsaw.
He had me a chainsaw. All right, Leatherface yell. All right, there you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is good. It was pretty isolated too, which was fun. All right, let's see, what did your brother, the door one, that one Ibit was talking about.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Look what your brother did to this door.
See, I had no idea until you brought it up. I would never have thought that they repeated that, because such a weird thing to make a thing, you know?
It really is. I just wish they would have made it a thing. Like, it'd been so great.
Just for fun, I captured the trailer. This is out of context. I just wanted to play it because I think it's great. So they really were pushing the stars in this thing, because I guess probably at the time this thing went to theaters, their stars were on the rise by then. Yeah. People had heard of them, but when they were making it, they hadn't so much. So anyway, check this out.
The American legend returns to bring you back to the cutting edge of terror. Matthew McConaughey, Renee Zellweger, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. If looks could kill, he wouldn't need a chainsaw.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
So again, the ads even focus on Leatherface, but this movie, it's a misdirect. He's barely there.
Yeah. There is no Chainsaw Massacre in this movie.
No.
I almost want to do the Goldblum, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, that's interesting.
Nobody dies from the chainsaw in this film.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
There is definitely a neck snap and a stabbing.
Yeah, there's a sledgehammering.
Yeah, and there's a
the head squishing.
A back.
That's the reason why we find out Leatherface ain't so bad.
Well, he's just, he's just bad with his chainsaw. Yeah.
This is misunderstood.
Oh my gosh, you're blowing my mind. I'm running it all through my head. Not a single chainsaw kill.
No.
And I'm sorry, but a propeller from a plane does not count on McConaughey's head. You can't count
that.
Well, and during the autopsy, it was like, looks like a chainsaw. Wrap it up.
Yeah, we did it once again. Good job, Texas.
Leatherface could totally move to a different town, get a job at the Walmart, go home after work and put on lipstick. Like Leatherface is just a person.
Yeah, he's just living his best life. I spelled McConaughey wrong again on this next one, but I'd like you to see the spelling. It is MACONEHEEEE.
E's, like 5 E's altogether?
5 E's, yeah. Can you believe that?
Excellent.
Anyway, here's him making a weird noise. All right.
Is that the part where he does the Star Wars
No, that's later.
gosh.
I have that. But he jumps
Okay.
off. He jumps off of something to get on the car. I can't remember if he jumped off the house. Anyway, but right before he jumps on her car,
right.
he makes that sound.
Okay. All right.
So weird. All right. Here are your 3 all rights. This one I have correctly.
All right.
There you go. Fun.
Yeah. People often attribute that to another movie. It was this one that you remember.
Well,
All right.
yeah, because we Mandela effect the 2. Well, we think it's 3 in the first one, but they really aren't.
Yeah.
And why is that? Why did we think? Because I've never seen this movie, so why did I think there were 3? Because I did. Is it because everyone else said there were 3?
It just flows better.
Yeah,
I think Matthew McConaughey was workshopping it. I think by the time he got to this one, he was like, "Yeah, that makes sense." 3.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Man, he was a good-looking kid, though, wasn't he? In his 20s, he's a good-looking guy.
Totally was.
Yeah, still is. I mean, he's a handsome man, but whatever.
He is.
All right,
Ruggedly so.
Here is I edited it a little bit just to get rid of the spacing and stuff, but here is that McConaughey moment where he's making those noises. There you go.
The mocking.
I love it so much.
Oh, yeah.
All right, time for the Film Sack checklist. Never bring an empty gun to a chainsaw fight. Check.
That's true.
Although I guess he didn't really. I guess he scraped her arms, so it did a little damage. You got a couple cuts on her shoulder that were from the chainsaw.
Okay.
Look, can you give me a trope alert for it, though?
I
It's
can.
so good.
What do you got?
Throw the gun, right?
Yeah.
Throw
love
the
it.
gun.
Click, click, throw the gun. She did on the stairs.
She did
Yeah.
throw the gun. You're right.
That's a trope that is so multi-purpose. It's in everything. You can't give me an example of a movie where you couldn't have that trope.
And is there an example of where like it works, where like it hits the person just in the right spot on their head to knock them unconscious?
Wouldn't it be great? I don't think
It'd be great. No, it'd be
I don't think
great.
I've seen
Just have
that. Yeah.
And then the character can go, "Wow, can't believe that worked," and get away.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking really hard here. Because, like you throw the gun at Terminator, right?
Yeah.
When you run out of bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Who did it hurt? It's got to be a movie where it hurt somebody.
Somebody got hurt, but we can't think of it.
Gotta be.
No.
See, this is what I love about the audience. They are going to have 1,000 answers to that.
Remember we just saw it in On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
When Blofeld throws the gun.
That's right. Yep. That was awesome. I love that. Here's another. Oh, I didn't finish these. They don't make TV antennas like that anymore. Check. And that robot leg was a stupid MacGuffin. Check. Star Trek Connections. Got to be somebody at that table or some shit.
So it's a small movie, so I just searched everybody. I searched everyone in this movie, and I only came up with 2. 2 connections. They're very, very small, but I'm going to tell you about them.
Tell me.
The first is Catherine Harper. Catherine Harper is a Foley artist in this movie. And after this movie, she had a successful career as a Foley artist in many famous movies, such as The Revenant and No Country for Old Men and Star Trek Insurrection, where she did Foley work. And she is therefore a Star Trek connection.
That'll work.
The other is a relatively famous key grip named Sean Devine.
Okay.
Sean Devine has a career, a career in the camera and electrical department for big movies. Like this is like a key grip who gets work. Right?
Yeah.
So after this one, he did key grip duties in National Treasure and Cloverfield and Avengers Endgame and 2009's Star Trek the movie.
Oh,
okay. You know what?
He's gripping all the keys.
I gotta say, there are more connections than I would have expected. So nice.
You wouldn't believe how long it took me to find those 2.
Yeah, it seems like a pain in the butt.
More than the movie length, probably.
Soundtrack great. I'd give it a P for passable. It's all right, but it's nothing to write home about.
I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I barely noticed it, to be honest.
I was gonna say that's the thing, right? It's barely. If you don't notice it, it doesn't deserve a grade.
Yeah, I think it does an okay.
No grade. No grade. Gradeless.
Gradeless. You have no grade.
They credited a composer named Wayne Bell because this person worked on A Scanner Darkly and Before Sunrise and Boyhood. Sounds like an Austin person.
Yeah,
probably.
Like you're making a movie in Austin. You might hire Wayne Bell to make some music for you.
Yeah,
we got a filler for you.
He's listed
down
under
in San Antonio.
He's listed on other Linklater projects too, so I'm guessing there's some connection there. As was McConaughey.
Everybody knows each other.
Yeah,
in Austin.
I think it's kind of cool. I like a robust local film scene. Nothing wrong with that. All social media posts. This is where we make the summation of the film in 280 characters or less, and we're going to start this week with Randy.
Okay, The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. We've got a scary bad guy, but we don't think he's enough. And also, after 20 years, he's stopped seeming real tough. He doesn't run real fast no more, and he stops to catch breath. It's been a very long time since he's even caused one death. So we brought on a new killer who likes to kick and bite. We hired him the moment he said, all right, all right, all right.
That's really good. That was really good. I like that a lot. All right, Brian Dunaway, try to match up with that.
Oh, can't top it, but I will scurry under it. The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like a hydraulic leg crushing your head to wrap up prom night. All right, ×3. Hashtag Naughty Illuminati.
Nice. Naughty Illuminati. All right. That was pretty good. Dunaway. But there's a lot of pressure on you now.
I know. So much pressure. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. The kind of cinematic endeavor where you suspect both cast and crew were obligated to bring their own beer. That's a quote from Mike Clark, USA Today. Hashtag, what does this look like? Green eggs?
All right, you all did it. All three of you did it. Nice job. No holds barred today. Let's do this. Alternate titles. This movie, believe it or not, was almost called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre: Deep Space Nine. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, they just about did it. Or the Dallas Tow Truck Drivers Club.
Because the thing.
Yeah, because of the thing
with the movie.
Because the guy and the name and the thing in there. Filmsack@gmail.com is where we got this. Actually, this may have been a text, 801-471-0462. Either one gets to us, and this one starts from a guy named Mark, and he says, greetings, Scott, Brian, and Randy.
Two Scotts and two Brians in this one.
There's two Scotts, two Brians, and a Randy with like 5 Ys. So there's that. Anyway, I just finished my 4th listen through your entire catalog. Oh, wow. I've got to say my favorite back-to-back episodes were The War of the Worlds and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Would love some more attention to old sci-fi like Forbidden Planet. Keep sacking. Have we not done Forbidden Planet?
Forbidden Planet? I don't believe so. Have we?
I trust the guy who's listened to every episode.
Yeah, right.
All right, the closest
more than us. Yeah, for
the
sure.
closest we got was Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. That's as close as we've gotten. Yeah. So you know what? I also would like to get back to some old school stuff once in a while. Insert some like ancient ass, 50s level whatever.
I love some sci-fi. Man, we haven't watched. I don't know if it's that old, but we haven't watched The Stuff. We haven't watched, like The Blob. Did we ever watch The Blob?
Not
Remember
the
that
original.
remake of The Blob?
Yeah, I remember the 90s remake.
Did we ever watch that one?
I don't think we did.
No, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I don't think we did, and we think we should.
I just want to point out on our Patreon, patreon.com/filmsack, there is a post on the first post. There's a comment on the first post where a longtime listener lists out all of his favorite moments and episodes of FilmSack. And I found it really, really useful to refer to. And I just want to say, if you're that guy, thank you. If you are not that guy, get thee to our Patreon and get your opinion in there. Because I would really like to know more from people who've listened to this a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It's great to hear from a guy who's listened to our entire thing 4 times in a row. Good Lord.
Yeah. Right.
Scares the hell out of me. All right. We got a phone call as well. This is one from Evan. This is a quick one for what he calls the FilmSack group. So enjoy.
Hello. What is that? The FilmSack group? The
What did you say?
Sorry, go ahead. No, sorry, I was trying to do initials. Go ahead.
Here we go.
Hello, FilmSack group. This is Evan Hudson. Occasionally Von Hudson Hawk in the chat, but calling because I wanted to recommend a movie that used to play on HBO in the late 80s, early 90s. There's a movie called Arena. It's in the future. in the space or a distant world, the best fighters in the universe compete in a gladiator sport called Arena, and it follows along a guy who's the first Earthling good enough to be a contender, and he's trying to make it and be the one. You know, it's like Rocky in space. So I found out that it's streaming on Prime. I hope you will consider it for a future film sack. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Bye-bye.
It's got a bunch of Deep Space Nine people in it for some reason.
Yeah. So this isn't the 2011 one, it's the 89 one?
The 89 one.
89
okay.
one.
So
and this is not the Duran Duran concert film arena, which had sci-fi elements.
No.
Oh my gosh, dude. We got to see
everywhere.
this. Look at this.
Plus,
look at this
Pluto
horrendous
TV.
looking like face. We have to watch this.
Mm-hmm. Good call.
All right. Can we sneak this one in?
I just added it to our list.
I think we should right after Halloween. We could just do we could do a month of sci-fi,
Sure.
right, or something.
We do need to make up for a couple of missed weeks of October. So why not?
Let's do it. Yeah, you're right. Amron Shimmerman's in this. Bunch of DS9 people.
Nice.
What'd you call him?
Amron. I think it's Armin, isn't it? I always say Amron. Every time I see his name, I say
Armin, isn't it? It's just Armin.
It's Armin. You're right. I don't know why I said Amron. Amron. By the way,
wow, this giant white alligator leg beast, grasshopper leg beast is great.
Yeah, this has to be seen.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it existed. Holy crap, this looks great.
I love to believe in our viewers or our listeners when they call in and do this.
Yeah.
Like it often ends with in disaster. Like we end up watching Daughters of Satan, but at the moment before we've watched it, like I'm just like, I believe you. Yes, I'll bet this is great. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm sure this is like film sack great. There's no way this is great.
Yeah.
It's probably shit, but we'll find out at some point. So thanks for the recommendation. We appreciate it. Quick note about our Patreon. It's called patreon.com/filmsack. And what's great about it is this. You get monthly host specials. All right. That's awesome. You get artwork in the mail from me. You get no commercials ever, no vaccine, and no Lieutenant Yar.
It's hard not to immediately slip in that whenever you begin.
Really hard.
With the no, blah, blah, blah.
Really hard. But anyway, pre-show content every week as well. There's no reasons not to sign up. So please head on over there today and join the growing family of FilmSack patrons at patreon.com/filmsack. Our next movie is going to be, actually it's Roundtable next week.
Yes, that's right. Last week we did a Roundtable. That was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Next week we're doing another Roundtable. This is going to be Sacktober, the Roundtable.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it because it's fun to get meta with you guys.
Yeah, I like getting meta. Meta.
Yeah, I like getting metal with you guys.
Meta Quest.
Metal shop.
Metal shop. Why is that familiar? Why do I know that?
Metal shop because of metal.
No, it's
remember that from the MTV.
No, something's familiar though. It's gonna bug me until you tell me. We'll figure it out later. Tune in next week to find out if I figured it out, everybody. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for listening at filmsack.com for all your needs, whatever it is, whatever your need is, go there, filmsack.com. That'll do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
Is he going to be okay?
We'll see you next time.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
I told you I'm a bitch.
I'm a bitch.